Welcome to clickmeproject.com. This video will lead us to the demo of authenticated subgraph similarity search in outsourced graph databases. Database outsourcing is increased nowadays for bioinformatics and chemical informatics. The similar subgraphs are provided as a result to the query graph, but the authentication is very important to check in this data. The authentication friendly metric index called GM3. The verification objects are transmitted to the client's query. Sampling based pivot selection method are used for the GM3. The input for the system is the chemical components. The chemical components are in the form of graph that are the images. For that graph, we have to generate the keyword for each one separately. This keyword is a user-defined one, and then using these keywords, the client can give the query. It is called as the query graph. This query graph is used to searching in the dataset, that is the chemical compounds image data. For that query, the MCS value is calculated. The MCS values are used to find out the distance, and then the distance are used to sorting the data. This sorting is based on the ascending or descending order. The ascending order sorting is very useful for find out the center points. These center points are get from the sorted data that is present in the chemical compounds, and then from the center points the fan-out value is calculated. The fan-out value is used for draw the graph in the chemical compounds data, and then from the fan-out value the radius of the data are calculated. These radius are used to form the supergraph query. This supergraph query is also selected by the user and then given as an input. Then the threshold value is also given as an input. Based on the supergraph query and also the threshold value, the similarity graph is calculated. The similarity graph is a result of the query graph that is selected by the user. First of all, run the homepage.java. Right click the homepage.java and select run file. Just click this image. It shows that the data that is present as a data set. Here it shows the images based on the selected data. These are the input data set. This is in the form of the images, and then these are the chemical components name. Then press next. It is the indexing. Here the graphs are selected, and then based on that the searching is done. For that searching, the distance is calculated. The user defined query graph is displayed in this text field, and then it is compared to all the data that is present, and then the distance for each and every of the query and the data set are displayed. Then press next. Here the sorting is done. Here the sorting is displayed according to the order of ascending. Then only the fan-out value is find out. The fan-out value is 5. Here the center point of the whole data set according to the ascending order is 12. Left side of the center point having the 6 and then 3, and then the right side of the center point having 18 and 21. Then press next. These are also a center points. Then click draw. Now the graph is drawn for the input dataset. Here the graphs are drawn on the basis of the data, and then press radius. Now the radius is calculated for the data, that is the center points. The radius is calculated for the center points, that is shown here, and then press next. Here it is the supergraph selection. There are 3 supergraphs are present. Among these, the user can select any one of the supergraph, and then the user have to enter the threshold value. The threshold value limit is 0 to 1. The user have to enter the threshold and then press submit. Then press next. Now the similarity is calculated. This is the result. According to the user query and then the data, the similarity is calculated. Then press next. This is the comparison graph for the user query and the supergraph. Then press next. Here it shows the graph, that is the comparison of total number of graphs and the fan out value. And also this graph is used to show the comparison of query size and the average elapsed time.